Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom of the truth is, with our hearts uncovered. Boy, detox from all of the lies you smothered. What I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Like that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap that can lead you astray. Sneering this shit through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt or disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track, we the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
So, not every unsafe space is loud or obvious. Sometimes it feels like walking on eggshells and calling it normal. Let me see if I could stop that feedback. I can't. What I'm going to do is mute when I speak for a minute. So it feels like walking on the eggshells and calling it normal. Tonight, we're talking about what emotional safety really feels like. Peace. Let's begin tonight with a question for everyone gathering with us. When you think about the people closest to you, do you feel calm and comfortable being yourself, or do you feel like you have to protect parts of you, parts of who you are? Earlier this week, we talked about how words hurt and how communication can leave lasting impacts on our hearts and our minds. Tonight, we talk about the conversation deeper. Our GPS healing journey has brought us to another important moment in week 3. Tonight, we explore powerful and honest questions many people rarely stop to ask themselves. Do I feel safe? Emotional safety influences how openly we communicate, how honestly we express our feelings, and how deeply we allow ourselves to connect with others. When safety exists, people feel free to be real. When it is missing, people began to hold back. So tonight we're gathering as a community to reflect, share, and grow together. I'd like to welcome our new host, um, Golden Eagle.
How you doing? I'm glad to be here.
Welcome, SGF Graham.
Should I just get in with the deeper meaning of
Peace,
things?
peace. How y'all doing?
All right. Um,
Oh, it's truly well.
Emotional safety is often misunderstood. Many people think safety only relates to physical protection. Emotional safety goes beyond that. It's easier, the inner sense, or it is the inner sense that your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can be shared without fear of ridicule, rejection, or emotional harm. When emotional safety is present, people communicate with openness and trust. They feel seen and respected. Even during moments of disagreement, relationships become places where growth can really happen natural. When emotional safety is missing, people begin protecting themselves in quiet ways. They may stay silent about important feelings, avoid difficult conversations, or slowly disconnect from the relationship. I've been there myself more than once. These patterns often begin early in life. Even emotional safety was not modeled, or sorry, if emotional safety was not modeled, many adults move through relationships without realizing what they truly need in order to feel secure. Awareness creates change. When we begin asking ourselves whether we feel safe, we open the door to healthier connections and deeper self-understanding. So let's have a good conversation about it.
Welcome, DDH to the bubble. So, first question. SGF Graham, when you think about your closest relationship, do you feel emotionally? I'm gonna skip this one for you. Um, what physical or emotional signs help you recognize whether you feel safe around someone?
Uh, Usually signs, warnings like their lack of listening, or when they respond back, it's not really on subject or whatever. I know it's gonna be kind of a tic tac. It comes if we ever get in a bout because we're not even on the same playing field. Not like I'm higher or you're higher, but we're just not even on the same playing field when the argument is going down.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna see the right way. Somebody's gonna be defensive.
I've noticed that, and I don't know where that stems from. Where people, when they respond and rebuttal to something, it's not even really what you're talking about. Like, I don't even know what you're speaking on at half the time. Like, I get it, you have an opinion, but like at the end of the day, want to be about the subject that we're talking about?
Yeah. I'm just recently exited in a relationship where it was like, the communication was it was the most detrimental thing to the relationship. We could, I found myself like so many times just saying, look, can we just stay on topic? Can we please just talk about what I'm trying to address? Only for the response to be, yeah, but 3 years ago, and it's like, look, I'm just trying to address what we had going on today. Can we please just stay on topic, man? Can we stay on point? And yeah, clearly, man, it took me a long time to realize just how unhealthy that was and how how the lack of healthy communication just in the long run, man, it really just destroyed it, you know.
So Kendall Cobb says vulnerability is not wanting to talk for days or weeks, etc. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
really. You know, we should be able to have a conversation and be able to see eye to eye, and it shouldn't have to take us weeks to get there, man. We should be able to listen to each other, hear each other,
I think
respond, and
I
yeah,
think she's more coming from the lines of that because of the you're protecting your emotional safety that you want to go silent for weeks and not speak to no
right,
one.
right,
People don't get you.
yeah,
I agree. I agree. So Golden Eagle, this is your question.
yeah.
When you think about your closest relationships, do you feel emotionally safe expressing your real thoughts and feelings?
Ooh. My closest relationship, I do, because thank God, honestly, I mean, at this point in life, honestly, my closest relationships with my mother. But even that, at times, it can be difficult. I recognize, and I'm slowly recognizing how often enough it's just as much my fault that we're not communicating well as it may be hers. But I mean, obviously, I'm still in the process of learning and realizing that a lot of times it's all about tone and just how we're expressing ourselves, because we could use those exact same words in a more monotone level, and things are heard and they're received so much better, and
Mhm.
but yeah, lately, man, like I said, I've just been real grateful for my mother, and for us being able to communicate like we do today, and just walk away from a conversation knowing that we both felt heard and understood, and not necessarily even in accordance with we might not really see eye to eye, but we can even agree to disagree and still walk away feeling good about it because we feel heard and understood. As far as actual relationships, like intimate relationships, man, that's a touchy one because I've definitely lacked having those healthy ones, that's for sure. And in my most recent, that was, like I said, that sense, man, I found myself kind of thinking. When I talk about it, I think of a ton of memes I've seen where they're like, say something to the extent of, if I'm talking, it's cool because I'm open, but you need to worry when I get quiet. Well, I mean, I know towards the end of that relationship, I just got to the point where I was like, it wasn't even that I didn't have anything to say. I was just saying it. I was just done saying it. It was like, man, I realized how futile it could be to even attempt to say anything. And that's when I started worrying myself. Like, I'm at the point where I'm no longer even willing to open up and talk. And that was a sign to myself that we were done, that I was done myself, because I couldn't even any longer, I no longer felt comfortable or safe just expressing my own personal feelings.
Mhm.
So in the long run, I know that the unhealthy communication that we had was that was kind of what just was the demise of it. And it wasn't that there was no love there, because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I loved the woman, and I know she loves me. We love each other to this day, but loving each other isn't always enough. You can't for a relationship to be good and healthy, you need a lot more than just love. You need respect and honor and trust. You need safety and security, and I'm sure that in some ways we both didn't really offer each other that because of the unhealthy way that we did communicate. So I try and own as much responsibility in that as I can, because I recognize that she wasn't the only one in the relationship. We were both in it, and so I know that I'm just as responsible for the demise of the relationship as she was.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah, that's
So, so Kendall Cobb says all relationships can be difficult. It takes a lot of hard work.
yeah.
Sometimes I agree. Sometimes. Then
You know,
Kendall said, "I've seen a perfect relationship. It's almost too good to be true. When you know something isn't right, even though we all play that role, trying to keep that what imaginary in public and in behind closed doors."
you know,
Yeah.
and Maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic, but the past 10 years, I've been in a handful of relationships, and every one of them, I've found my significant other saying, it takes hard work, it takes time, but I don't know if I buy into that. I believe that when it's the right one and when it's a healthy kind of love, it doesn't take hard work. I believe when you really do find the one, it's gonna be easy, man. It's gonna be easy to love. It's gonna be easy to connect. It's gonna be easy to communicate and understand each other because I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic, but I still hold faith in that. When you find the right one, it ain't gonna take hard work. It's gonna come naturally because it's what it's supposed to be, And when it's what it's supposed to be, it just things fall into place a lot easier.
So my question is, what does emotional safety look like in a healthy relationship? For me, my question is for me. And for me, I'm going to say that it looks like where you could talk and be not just understood, but you also can articulate your way where you're not having to worry about your words because the other person's not going to be offended by what you say.
Right.
To me, you can be vulnerable and still be able to get your feelings out without them having to take the table from you and flip it around and start reflecting onto you about them, because you have a chance to be able to speak. You can be heard. When conversations go, one listens, one talks. One listens, one talks. Not hurry up and I just got something to say and I want to take over and I want to take the floor. It goes both ways because for a healthier relationship, you have to be able to be, you know what? I'm going to listen to this person speak for right now. And then later on, I will talk about my feelings, not when they're done, because then it's a tit for tat kind of thing. I'm going to let them emotionally tell what they have to tell so they can feel better. And I'm going to ask them questions. I'm going to ask them, is there more things you can tell me? Is there something else on your mind? Is there something else on your mind? And then I'm going to let them be until they're completely finished saying their emotions and feelings. Then later on down the line, then come back and say something about how you felt, if it still mattered. But it's not about, we're not playing chess. Well, I move, then you move.
Yeah.
I get to go, then you get to go. It goes both ways. We have to be good listeners as well as good speakers. We can't just be the one that always talking.
When I think about the actual question, my immediate response before you start speaking on it was, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Every relationship I've ever been in, I'm out of now. So clearly it wasn't that healthy. It didn't work out, you know what I mean? But like I said, I know that I always recognize or acknowledge myself that the only common denominator was me. And I mean, just because there may be similarities in every relationship, the only common denominator was me, And so I'm still going through that whole the ownership. I own that. I like to think that I've always been a fairly decent communicator, but I know that I've never been as good as I might be today, and I'm just praying that I get better, because I mean, like I said, I go back to the hopeless romantic. I want to have that right one. I want to have that happiness and joy and share the good things with somebody in my life, But I know I got to work on me in order to be able to provide that for somebody else too. I can't just expect it to be given to me by someone else if I'm not prepared to fully give it myself. So, yeah. I look forward to the day I can answer that question. Actually, this is what a healthy relationship looks like. This is what safety and security feels like, because I do believe that I'm prepared to give that. But I have to be prepared to receive it too, and I don't know that I am right now, So I'm just gonna lay on back and wait for the right time, I guess, and maybe the right person.
So I'm gonna ask you this, STF Graham. I'm gonna mute you for a minute, Golden Eagle, when I speak, and then I'll mute you afterwards, only because there's feedback.
Right up.
SGF Graham, what does emotional safety look like in a healthy relationship, in your opinion?
What does emotional safety look like?
Yes.
Uh, Speaking on my opinion, speaking based off of me, ah, how can I say it without sounding cold? I care about what others think, so I always think about what comes out of my mouth. But I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get my point across as well. I also leave space and room, and I actually push the other person to tell me how they feel. Sometimes to the point that I get upset that they hold back. Like, why are we holding back? I really want to know so we can get to the root of this or whatever. Like, you're worried about an argument. I'm worried about going through this again.
Yeah.
Like, we got two different worries right now. I don't want to go through this again. We can solve this or whatever if you get out of whatever this feeling, rather it's past relationship or whatever, and you holding on to what happened whenever you said how you felt or whatnot. It went away that you didn't want to or whatever, so now you keep your feelings to yourself or whatnot. I used to be the same way or whatever, and it took one day. I was just like, I didn't give and I just started saying how I felt, and the person just looked at me, and you could tell the person either never cared to know that I felt that way or never knew that I felt that way. And it was from that day forward, I knew I was hindering myself by keeping everything in. So to me, that healthy communication line is being able to say what you want to say and pushing others to say what they want and need to say.
So I have a two part to that because I would like to. I'm going to ask everybody the same question on this one too. How can people begin creating an environment where emotional safety grows naturally?
Mm, I don't know. I don't push things on people. Even things that I want to talk about. Um, I used to push, but now I don't push, and now it actually shows me true identity or whatever. I know that this isn't something I need to be dealing with you with. I shouldn't have to push on whatever this issue is on solving this. Um, so me is just giving that space to where they feel like they can communicate.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you now, Golden Eagle. How can people begin creating environments where emotional safety grows naturally?
I mean, I think the key to that is obviously just the open communication, knowing that they're not going to be judged, and you're showing them that you're hearing. The active listening, um, really trying to be in tune with that. I think, and just letting them know that they're not going to be judged. I mean, nobody's wrong for feelings. And so the other person can feel a certain way, and if you recognize or acknowledge that, I mean, that there's no wrong in that. That's how they perceive things, and respect the fact that they feel that way. Um, I think that's definitely one of the keys to that anyway. And I mean, obviously, I think the biggest thing is just trying to remain non-judgmental and just hearing them for what they have to say, and feeling what they have to say, honestly, because you have to feel it too. You have to be able to. That way, you can relate. You can respond. A little more passive, like than I have possibly than I definitely have in the past, or at times. Sometimes you just have to, like I said, just being as loving as possible, man. You just got to take it in and respect that this might be their perception on things, or this might be it's just how they're feeling in that moment, and it's okay to feel any way they feel. And then just reaffirm your love for them, honestly, and acknowledge that you understand what they're saying too, and if it's something that's pertaining to you, and you can do something about, then being willing to work on it, and keeping them in mind and giving them the consideration of just that, making them feel easy in their feelings, really, you know.
You
I
know,
think coming from the other perspective too, like for us men, I don't know, man. Maybe it's something different, but I think we need that too. But on top of that, like I think you and I were talking about this the other day. Actually, one of the hardest things for a man to do, I believe, is just speak on his feelings. To say I feel like this, or really, me personally, one of the hardest things for me to say in life has been, and I've been working on this one for about 10 years now. When I realized how hard it was for me to say, I started trying to say it and caught myself stuttering, and I'm not one to stutter. I don't stutter, like, but just saying you hurt my feelings. That's sometimes I think for a man that's and really I can't speak for you ladies, but I imagine it's difficult for us all, but I know as a man that's really hard to say because in a sense it's like that's just showing you some sort of weakness or it's anti-masculine to be dealing in feelings, but really, man, like I'm slowly learning that's actually a huge strength. So yeah, I guess that's all I got for that.
yeah. So for me, I believe that a way that people can create emotional safety for the environment, non-judgmental. You can't help how somebody perceives something. I don't care if they're coming from past traumas. I don't care if they're coming from something you said or did. You cannot help how somebody perceives something. The only thing you can control is how you come back from it, how your rebuttal is. And giving them that safe place and not telling them that they're wrong, not belittling them, not blaming them for things that they did not create fires in, by allowing them to be transparent and vulnerable. Like Goalie Eagle said, allowing them to say you hurt my feelings and not say to them, toughen up and stop being such a pussy. Like that is not giving them emotional safety. That is not creating an environment where they are able to be transparent to you. If anything, you're creating them to never come to you again. So give them that grace, give them that space, and allow them to be open and honest and transparent. I have a lot of male friends that are able to be transparent with me because I let them. I can sit in my feminine energy and let them without judging them and saying, you're weak for that. A lot of females can't say that they can do that. And then it goes vice versa, though. I've never been in an environment where it was emotionally safe for me. And because of that, I had survival, my survival mode kicked in huge, and I have issues with control. I spoke on this today to somebody very dear to me. I have issues with control, and I'm aware of it. And it's only because I'm not making an excuse for it. I'm recognizing it. I'm saying why it is subconsciously that I do this. And it's because I've been in survival mode my whole entire life that I felt that the only thing I can control is me. What goes on with me. And I can't do that anymore. I can't try to control the whole world around me to protect me. And I learned that today, and it was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow, and I know I need a bunch of healing on that aspect, and I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying to allow myself to be in my feminine energy and be submissive to somebody who is in their masculine energy and as a leader, and not feeling offensive when they say anything, because I don't think their intent is to hurt my feelings. That's Jeff Graham.
See, when you said allow somebody to be wrong or allow somebody to have their feelings, what do you mean by that? Because I'm not gonna call you weak, or I'm not gonna call you out your name. Actually, there's no need to call you out your name because we're dealing with a problem, not dealing with the character or
Mhm.
whatever, you know. Um, but I'm not gonna let you sit in that issue, not around me. Would like because it feeds off on me or whatever. Now, if you're not ready to listen yet, you know, a wise man don't debate. So I tell you what I got to tell you, and you're gonna always feel comfortable unless you feel defensive or whatever. Because I'm not gonna pound it in your head or whatever. You'll come back to it when it's ready for you, whatever, you know. But at the same time, I'm going to let them know or whatever. Like, yeah, if you're not trying to get out of it, I can't sit around it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I guess it's okay in the sense of it's your life to feel how you feel, but understand that you're moving people away from you.
And that's the bottom line. You allow them to have whatever feeling they came up in their head, and you can't tell them that they're wrong for that. But at the end of the day, you don't have to receive it either. You don't have to allow yourself to be in that. And if change happens, it's from both parties. It's not because of just you. It's because of what they did, and they didn't want to meet you in that safe space.
Nah, not technically, because I mean that might be out of my safe space.
Well, or your safe space at the end of the day. Like I'm saying, like if we can't have common ground where we can agree to disagree and I'm still going to keep on beating you up over it, I can't change how you feel, but I don't have to be around to hear it.
Yeah, we shouldn't be around each other or whatever. It's just not compatible. It's I feel like the more and more that people are getting quotations woke and universally whatever they want to call stuff, they feel like they can change people even more.
Mm. And you
You
can't. And that's what
would
I'm trying to say. It's not your job.
exactly. It's instead of finding the whole objective is to find what magnetizes you. And you know,
Hmm.
everything else, the little intricates we can work out on that. But if the base is what you have to work on, especially at our age or whatever, we should know what our base is. Or
Yes.
whatever. If the person that we're seeking has to work on the base, then that might not be the person. With you know, I'm just saying.
No,
Unless you're
I
willing to go through the journey or whatever,
no,
you know, some people actually willing to go through the journey.
no. Someone said to me, well, they didn't say it personally to me. I can't say that. I saw a video, okay? And I don't believe every single video I see. I'm not one of those people, you know that. But someone said in a video one time, if the man cannot take or the woman cannot take criticism without feeling attacked, then they become a project.
Yes. The hardest project in the whole wide world because then I think it becomes like a habit. It's not even them being defensive anymore. It's just a habit of when you approach like this is how they approach or whatever.
Mhm.
Because when you approach them like why are you even being so defensive right now? They probably don't even have no response because they don't know they was just in there what they're used to or whatever. You respond like this, I mean you approach like this, I respond like this. I don't even know why I do it. I just do it now.
Mhm.
You know,
And I also saw real quick before we go on to the next question, real quick. I also saw today, and it was so on point. It was crazy. I saw today where they said that we end up getting a relationship or married to somebody who mirrors our person that was not there for us. Whatever we were wanting in that parent, like if we had daddy issues and we were seeking, a father figure and stuff, we'll marry somebody that's similar to that. If we were, had non-nurturing mother, we're gonna find a woman that's non-nurturing. We will find whatever in our parent that we were lacking and needing when we were younger, again in a mate, because we're still repeating those cycles and searching for that so that we can close ourselves and heal ourselves. But in the same breath, that the person also said, once we leave that situation and we're aware of it because our subconscious does it. We don't realize it. Our subconscious does it. And once we become aware of it and it becomes conscious and we leave that person, we no longer will be continuing doing that behavior because now it's no longer a subconscious thing that we did do. Do you receive that, golden ego?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do
Absolutely.
do you receive that, SGF Graham?
Or similar, 80% of what you don't want is what you'll wind up with because that's what you focus on the most. You know, the universe or, you know, God language, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't hear like do, don't, going, is, you know, words like that or whatever. So people say stuff like, I don't want that. All the universe heard was, I want that or whatever. That's why I tell people focus on what you want more than what you don't want.
Right.
Because if we probably focused on what we want more or whatever, instead of that being the last thought, like it was like, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, I just want somebody good. We had descriptions of what we don't want, but when it came to good, we just wanted good, maybe fine, beautiful, or whatever, you know, or whatever. You know, we didn't have no real descriptions of good that we wanted, but we knew exactly what we didn't want to the T to where we manifested it.
You know, I used to say when I was younger, all I wanted was someone to love me and be loved. I didn't realize what everybody's love language was, and I didn't know what proper love was. People loved me. Oh, did they ever? But it wasn't appropriate love. It wasn't the love that I was looking for and longing for because I wasn't specific of what I said. I just said something general in vague. The universe gave me that. And I went through a lot of inappropriate stuff for a child that a child shouldn't have to deal with because that's all they knew is love to them. And it's crazy. Be very careful what you say and be matter of fact with what you say to the T because we're in a matter of fact universe. And not only that, our subconscious is connected to our survival, and we're going to keep repeating cycles until we learn to escape them. So, golden ego, I'm going to ask you this question. It is, when was the last time you truly left emotional, you felt or truly felt emotional safe with someone?
I mean, like I said, if probably today, like I said, just because I've had some pretty good conversations with my mother, but again, that's, I mean, if we're talking intimate relationships, man, I don't know if I ever did, really. Possibly, possibly through my marriage, you know, I was with the same woman for about 18 years. We were married for 13, and I know emotionally I could express my feelings, and she was open enough to receive that and hear it too. She might not always agree, probably with her, there obviously it didn't last forever. So we definitely had some things that just that prevented it from lasting forever. But I did have we had an emotional closeness and openness that was probably also why it lasted as long as it did. You know, so if it wasn't just today and talking with my mother and my son too, honestly, um, yeah, if we're talking about intimate relationships, and I'd probably have to go back to 10, 15 years ago when I was married. We, like I said, I think we both were emotionally open with each other. We could both, we definitely had that where we could express to each other what it was we felt, and again, might not perceive things the same way or feel the same way, but we could express our feelings to each other nonetheless.
Mm,
And so that's definitely one thing that even to this day I'm still grateful to that woman for, you know,
yeah.
because obviously, like I said, I mean, we've definitely had our share of turmoil, but I also know, like, it was just recently where she has spoke to me about how she was feeling, just on certain on personal topic, you know, personal subject, but the fact that she's still to this day able to express to me what she was feeling,
was really
Hmm.
it's that says something to me. You know, that says
Right.
that we had to have at least kind of been on the right path. You know, we had that for sure. So
That's good.
yeah.
Um, Chef Graham, do me a favor. Can you search what emotional intensity is?
All right.
Because the question is, have you ever confused emotional intensity with emotional safety? I don't even know what emotional intensity is.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have no clue.
it's probably a pretty good description of myself. I know my emotions are intense, like really.
Oh,
So, and I can become a very intense person in dealing with my feelings, you know, and dealing with my emotions, and so I guess yeah. You live
I'm
with
gonna
me
see.
for live with me for a few days. You'll probably know what emotional intensity is too, because
I'm gonna see what Google says real quick or whatever.
okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. On Gemini, it says emotional intensity usually manifests in three distinct ways: physical strength. This is the gut punch feeling. Cognitive focus. When an emotion is intense, it takes up all the bandwidth in your brain. In other words, brain fog and all that. Duration. That's how long it lasts. They talking a lot of ABA, applied behavior analogy right here. Why do some people feel more intensely? Biology. Some people are born with more reactive nervous system, state of mind, stress, lack of sleep, or hunger can lower the ceiling. Past experiences, sadness, fear, and obviously joy. I guess over, people that get overly excited.
So they're asking, how can you confuse? Have you ever confused overly excited people with emotional safety? How can you confuse the two?
Overly excited people with emotional safety.
Yeah.
I've seen people get so excited that they become klutz and they start falling over stuff, and people have to like literally like watch stuff around them because they
Yeah,
don't
but
watch.
how can you confuse that with emotional safety?
I don't know. I tell you one thing: if I get real laughy with you, I'm hiding something. I'm hiding
Ooh.
something that's probably about to make me cry. Like if I
And
get real laughy with you, you know, you know, ask me how I'm doing. I ain't no real laughy person. I crack jokes, but if it's like I'm just nonstop with it, that's like a sign.
I'm gonna ask, how can someone confuse them? Because I don't know.
I just said it.
How can they confuse the two?
I just said it. When I'm real jokey and laughing and stuff, ask me how I'm doing. Cause I'm right at the edge of it's something right there that want me to crack that's about to crack a tear.
Okay, I get it now. I get it now. Because
Whatever. It's just my emotional state. Like I noticed it about 3-4 years ago or whatever. Like why am I so jokey right now? I really want to explode. And I was like, I noticed I do this quite often or whatever. So I started noticing it for me, like, okay, it's time for me to get away. I'm being too jokey right now. Go to,
okay. All right. So I'll ask you this one. What does feel like? What does emotional safety feel like in your body? Is it calm, relaxed, or able to breathe?
when I'm like that. You
Emotional
said,
safety. What does emotional safety feel like in your body?
uh, I don't have no feelings. I've been feeling emotional safety since 2010. Um, ever since 2010, if I'm quiet, it's because I'm thinking about the emotional safety for the next person. Well, it's not for me. I don't have no feelings when it comes to anything I have to say or want to say or want to ask or whatever. I just think about what the other person might say and how the other person might feel, and I might not ask it. So, but it don't never be on my behalf; it be on their behalf. So I really wouldn't. After my divorce, like my divorce, I was real mute during that whole relationship, just trying to make it last to this length of time that I needed it to last to, or whatever. And I felt so little afterwards for still failing that I just I'm gonna say what I got to say or whatever. I don't feel no type of nervousness or nothing or whatever. Like unless, like I said, I feel like the other person is gonna throw the other person off. It's gonna make the other person feel uncomfortable around me or whatnot. Then I won't even go through the questions I have.
Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick. What I just found out, and it makes a lot of sense. I didn't get it this way for some reason. I don't know why my brain wasn't getting this way. So I asked how can they can confuse it, and they said because high intensity, dramatic, and violent and volatile situations create adrenal gland spikes that feel familiar to those used to instability. This addiction to chaos mimics for some of the feeling of passion, whereas true safety, being calm and consistent, can feel boring and unfamiliar. So it's something they're accustomed to. When you're used to chaos, makes so much sense now that I read it like that, because the reason why is I'm asking myself, why do I choose situations that I have to fix somebody and heal somebody and create this place where I'm nurturing this person back to being a better version of them? And it makes a lot of sense to me because I'm so used to chaos. I'm so used to the stimulant of unstableness that my mind is familiar with those patterns and the adrenaline that comes with high intensity people that throw things and that get loud and scream and stuff. I'm calm in that situation because I'm used to it. It looks familiar to me subconsciously without knowing.
And the laughing thing, of course, this is to the extreme, but you can think about the Joker. If you ever watched the Joker movies or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
his condition was whenever he got nervous or super scared or whatever, he would start laughing.
Okay, I get it. I get it. All right. Hope you guys understand and following along with us over on TikTok and over there and wherever else you're at watching from Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Golden Eagle, do you believe that emotional safety must be earned or is it naturally felt?
Well, I mean, I think that if you're applying the right methods and giving it, then it's gonna be naturally felt. I don't know if it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be earned because we all deserve it. You know what I mean? So it's already been earned, but achieved, that's a whole nother thing. And I just want to say to my man, I mean, as far as the smiling thing, I can relate to that, or the laughing, getting jokey, because like speaking about the emotional intensity, man. I am a really emotional intense person, but I've also learned and seen how my emotional intensity can, like you mentioned, can really create a chaotic feeling or atmosphere too. And it immediately took me back to this really great person that I had the opportunity of being with for a short period of time. But I know in hindsight that honestly she was a really chill person. She wasn't accustomed to any kind of chaos, and my intensity with my emotions gave her that sense of chaotic, chaos. And again, and I have no doubt that's why we aren't, that's why it didn't last. It was my own emotional intensity that destroyed her emotional security or safety. And all it was really just me being the passionate person that I am, trying to express it. But back to the jokey thing too. Like I know when I'm on the verge of exploding, man, when I feel like man, I might have to whoop this motherfucker's ass. Or so when I'm feeling like really close to, I'm dealing with some serious anger. I catch myself smiling really big, man. I smile a lot, and it's because I'm trying to mask that anger, trying to keep it in check, you know. But yeah, I say that a lot. Like, I mean, I smile, but when I'm smiling nonstop, man, I'm probably on the verge of doing something I shouldn't do, you know. And it's like, so yeah, I can really relate to the jokey thing, bro. For real, I can definitely relate to that.
So, what my question would be, what are early signs that tell you a space or relationship is not emotional safe? Oh man, like I said, I never knew. I never knew what emotional safety was, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what boundaries were. I didn't know what self-love really truly entailed. I knew that it's something that I lacked. I knew it's something I needed. I know I can't tell you what things are. I've never been in a stable, healthy relationship. I've never been able to be in my feminine energy without having to protect myself and lead for myself. So I know the early signs that tells when a space or a relationship is not emotionally safe because they look familiar. They look something like I'm used to for me. If it looks like it's something I've had before and I've been in before, I know that it's not safe. Because like I said, I've never been in a relationship where I felt safe. I've never been in a relationship where I felt like I was able to be me without it affecting another person in a negative manner just by me being me. I've always been told I've been a bit much, extreme, anything. And I can agree with sometimes because I am a passionate person. So I can agree with that at times, but also sometimes it doesn't always stem back to you. If the common, like Golden Eagle said, if the common denominator and the whole situation comes back to you, then maybe you got to check you. But at the end of the day, you may also have to check the people that you allow in your circle. I'm learning so much in this journey in life that you can only do so much for yourself and heal you first before you go around looking for somebody else that is healed. You can't expect a healed relationship when you don't even know what healed looks like. So that I had to learn that was hard for me. SGF Graham, how does emotional safety influence your ability to communicate honestly?
Ask that question again.
How does emotional safety influence your ability to communicate honestly?
It allows me to speak without being aggressive. Speak without feeling like I got to say this in a tone that's saying you bet not cut me off without saying it. You know, like that's the worst part or whatever, you know, when I feel like somebody pushing me there, you know, because I done made it too emotionally safety for them. They feeling like they can just trample over my words now or whatever, you know, like that can be an issue. It's a slight issue. It's easy to get rid of or whatever, you know. Usually I just kill the whole conversation. And when they finally ask why, I let them know, you know, and then we can get back to it then. But that's one.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same thing because I have a different answer. So I'm gonna ask you, how does Golden Ego, how does emotional safety influence your ability to communicate honestly?
I feel like he just hit the nail on the head with that. You know, being offered or having that sense of emotional safety. First of all, for myself, I mean, because like I said, I am pretty emotionally intense. But when I'm secure and feeling safe in my emotions, there's no need for the intensity. So it's just easier to calmly, cool, you know, keeping the three C's, the staying calm, cool, and collective. It's just that just comes so much more natural and easier to because you're confident in being able to simply say how you feel or express yourself, you know. But again, you know, obviously when you don't have that, you get that sense of not being heard, not being understood, or being shut down, and that can just that goes the opposite direction then, you know. So yeah, really, I think you hit it on the head with that. That's exactly how, you know.
I do want to add the whole eggshell thing. When I said the eggshell thing in the beginning, that is so real for me. That hit home when I read that and said that, because at the end of the day, I tiptoe. I tiptoe a lot in life because I affect people. Like I said, and never my intention is to make people uneasy. And I learned so much in this journey that you should be allowed to be you, and no one take it personal.
Right.
Because once somebody starts taking it personal by you being you, the problem might lie with them, to be honest with you. Because when people reflect, they see something within themselves that they only can point out. If I don't know what safety looks like because I've never seen it, I don't know what jealousy looks like because I've never experienced it. I don't know what jealousy looks like. I don't, because I've never been a jealous person and I don't experience. Just like I have an issue. I have an issue with sex. I don't know what making love looks like. I don't know what healthy exchange of energy is. I've never been familiar with that in my whole entire life, ever. Ever. From even being a young child when it wasn't appropriate, being appropriately touched. I don't know what it looks like. So for me, it's demeaning. I don't have a beautiful, sacred thing for sex. So I'm not indulging in it until I get comfortable with knowing what it is and treating it differently than what in my head it's looked at. Because in my head, to me, it looks nasty and weaponized, and I don't have a good relationship with it. So I don't do it. And it's not because I don't want to do it, because I'm addicted to it. But I can't look at it properly. Until I can look at it properly, I don't want to do it. Because that problem lies with me. It's not no one else's problem in the world, and nobody has to put up with it, and nobody has to accept it. Because it's not their problem, it's mine. And I'm not mad if nobody wants to be with me because of it. Because I still have to work on it, whether I'm in a relationship or not, because it probably lies with me. People don't see that. They always think it's a them problem when you're going through something. That's unhealthy. That's instability. That's walking around on eggshells. I can't say I have a problem without you thinking it's you.
Right.
That's not healthy.
No, but you know, I mean, I do have to point out, or that makes me just think about how, you know, like the sexuality aspect or the emotional safety aspect. I mean, it's all relative, you know, and you definitely have to have. There has to be something that's being given and taken. You have to find somebody who can give you those things and have you feeling safe in that intimate, and comfortable in the intimate moments, you know. And also when I say the intimate moments, it goes for both of them, whether it's sharing your emotions or sharing your body, you know. Those are very intimate moments. And so you definitely, it's definitely about being with someone who can offer that, you know. And obviously, because as a couple, it's both of your responsibilities to provide that for one another, you know. And so just yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all.
So I want to put a little backstory on our relationship. Nobody knows this, but this is the longest running person that I've known my whole entire life. Probably since third grade. The longest running person I've ever known my whole entire life. They knew me before I had my son. They knew me when I was still a virgin and just a kid. I don't have people like that around me anymore because a lot of them are past. So there's only a select few that I still have that say, hey, you know me before I knew me. And you also know my son's father, so you know that he ain't shit, and he was never shit. And
Oh no. Oh no.
so I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if anybody says to me, how come you haven't had a stable relationship? How come this? How come that? You know my parents, you knew my sibling, you knew me beforehand, before all of it. And that's why.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
It,
Life.
we
That's
repeat
why.
cycles. We repeat cycles that's familiar to us within ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that's the only thing we know.
As you know, and it's only for us to break the cycles and break the
Yes,
chains,
to change it.
for sure. And by
So,
the way, yes,
huh,
I can't tell you how grateful I am for having the friendship and the relationship
yeah,
that we have had through life. Because
yeah.
because it's things like that that are just some of the biggest blessings in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't have many strong, still running friends that I could say, hey, I've known you since I knew my name.
Right, right. You know, remember we were practicing the ABCs?
My sisters don't even talk to me like that. I mean, I don't have family even like that. So yeah, no, it's great. So I'm gonna ask one more question, then then we end it where you do the read the reflection, and then we do positive messages, and then we wrap it. So one more question. SGF Graham, what boundaries help create emotional safety in a relationship?
Repeat that.
What boundaries help create emotional safety in a relationship?
Um, is being able to take constructive criticism one.
Okay.
Okay, listening, um, staying on subject. It's okay to say you have nothing to say. You know, don't speak just because you want to have the last word. I don't know if these are more like rules, if they sounded like rules or boundaries or whatever, but these are like the triggers for me or whatever that'll shut me off from continuing the conversation. Well, because I don't want to get me routed up. Because once I get routed up, there's no way in hell you gonna tell me to shut off. You cannot shut. You're not gonna shut me off or whatever. Like you turned me on. I'm gonna turn me off. Or whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
When's your
Like
birthday? When's your birthday?
I'm a Leo.
Leo. Okay. Yeah, my dad's a Leo, so that makes sense. That makes
like and I'm gonna let you know I'm up here now. You got me here now.
right.
You got me here now. Or
You get
whatever.
real ferocious about it.
Like I'm gonna really let you know this is your fault. Whatever you do, whatever. Like I I I
Who did this?
I probably repeatedly for the longest, calmly as ever, tried to talk while you was yelling, and then I'm finna show you how to yell now. I'm finna
Right.
show you how to make somebody feel like maybe they shouldn't have did this or whatever, whatever, like, and we shouldn't even got here
Right.
whatever. And then I'm gonna probably make you feel like I'm crazy because 15 minutes later I'm gonna probably send you a meme on Facebook that's funny as hell. cause I cause I get over stuff real quick because that energy was only for you. It wasn't for me. So I'm not finna wear it. Or whatever. Like I had to learn how to hurry up and transmute it, get it up off me or whatever. Cause I could sit there and be like, man, what the hell I'm angry for? Or whatever. Like I forget what whatever. So I got to transmute it, get it up off me or whatever. And even if that mean now I'm finna be petty and haha, I know you still mad. I'm finna send this funny ass meme to you any damn way. Goddamn, like that get me out of the little funk and I keep it moving.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I don't know why that made me think of about 5 years ago. I was with a woman, man, and Yeah, I think it was partially just where I was in my life, but over the year and a half we were together, I had dubbed myself the great one upper because kind of like you were saying, like, man, she get loud, and I'd be like, no, I can one up that. I can get louder, you know. She get disrespectful. I'm like, oh, I can do better than that, you know. And so, I don't know. You just hearing you speak, man, that just took me back to that where a time in my life where I was calling myself the great one upper, you know, like,
Oh yeah, oh
you
yeah.
got somebody in your inbox. I'm about to get in somebody's box, you know. I will one up you all day, you know, man. I tell you, like I said, I was lucky that relationship lasted 18 months.
You had a whole bunch of something you to do.
Yeah, I tried real hard to one up everything she did.
All right.
It didn't
Read
last.
the reflective. Read the reflections. The reflection.
Read the reflections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if I can. Let me see here. Oh, shoot.
Kendall, that's funny.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to look for it here. You know, here we go. Okay. All right. Reflection. I should have my glasses for this too, though, because otherwise I'll catch myself stuttering like I'm upset. Emotional safety allows people to show up fully in their relationships. When people feel safe, they communicate with honesty and listen with understanding. Trust develops and connection becomes stronger. When safety is missing, people often adapt to protecting themselves. Over time, this protection can create distance, even between people who are deeply about one another. Reflection invites us to become aware of the spaces we participate in and the environments we create for others. Awareness helps guides us towards relationships that support respect, openness, and the emotional well-being. Yeah. Ryan, that really resonates with me too, because obviously, I mean, I'm still fresh out of a 4-year relationship, and reading about this is just really shows me how the both of us went wrong, because those are all things that we slowly destroyed for ourselves and for each other. You know, unfortunately we didn't offer those things to each other, you know, and wish we would have, you know, for both of us, but yeah.
So at this time, we do positive quotes. So I want to hear a positive message. You say a positive message that people could take from this episode.
Oh, wow. You know, trying to maintain that emotional intensity. That way the next person I'm with, I can offer them that emotional security and safety, because I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm with them to create chaos. You know, I know how destructive chaos is, and yeah, that's just not who I want to be. I want to be able to create peace, love, joy, happiness. Man, I want all those good things, and I know I can't have them if I don't help provide them. So yeah, that's it.
Positive message, SGF Graham.
In the life of communication, if you talk too much, learn to listen. If you always the quiet one, learn to open your mouth. It's all a balance.
Man, I don't know if I could top that one. Stay true to you regardless if it affects somebody in a negative manner, because you have to be a better version of you. You got to learn healthy love, self-love. You got to learn it correctly. It's not about people pleasing. It's about being the best version of you without pleasing. So love yourself correctly. Tonight we've explored the question, do I feel safe? Let's see what Kendall Cobb said for her positive message. That's not your positive message, Kendall Cobb. Is it tripping on escalators? Tell us your positive message. I'll read it after this. Tonight we explore the question, do I feel safe? and how emotional safety shapes the way we communicate and connect with others. Our GPS's healing journey continues next week as we move into another important step forward. Week 4 will guide our community conversation into boundaries and self-worth. We will begin recognizing red flags, understanding personal limits, and learning how self-respect influences the relationship we choose to keep in our lives. We invite you to continue this journey with us. I'm going to read Kendall Cobb's thing before I read the outro. Stay true. Bah. That, and if you don't know, that's Love Chop buttons. Obviously, you could tell by the bah. That's Love Chop. So, we're the ears that will listen, and where your opinion matters. Don't just be different, become the difference. Until next time, and thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to heal with us. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations filled with peace and love. Ashe, everyone.
Peace, peace.
Peace and love.
Peace, peace.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where it detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so